You do not wake up because you are rested. You wake up because darkness is thinning, and here, daylight is a deadline. Before your eyes open, you already know the room. You know it by smell. Old smoke, damp wood, animal breath, rotting straw. It clings to your throat before you even move. You sit up slowly, not out of comfort, but habit. Your body remembers yesterday, and the day before that, and every day like them. Your feet touch the floor. It is not a floor as you understand it now. It is earth, packed hard by generations of feet, hooves, spilled grain, and quiet suffering. Cold seeps upward. It always does. Somewhere close, an animal shifts. A pig exhales heavily. Chickens rustle in the half-dark. Their presence is not a choice. In winter, the warmth keeps you alive. In summer, their waste fills the air. This is your home. One room. No walls between living and sleeping. No separation between people and animals. No space to be alone. It holds your family. It holds your tools. It holds your food, your bedding, your sickness, your arguments, your grief. It holds your entire life. There is no privacy here. No silence. No moment where the world feels distant or gentle. Outside, the day is already waiting. You eat before you work, not because hunger wakes you, but because labor demands preparation. The bread is heavy in your hands, dark, dense, rough, made from barley or rye, sometimes mixed with whatever grain was cheapest or survived the harvest. It smells faintly sour. You chew slowly, not for enjoyment, for control. You know this may be most of what you eat today. Water follows, drawn from a stream or a shallow well nearby. Everyone uses it. No one trusts it. You do not know why some people fall sick after drinking it. You only know that it happens. Children first, then the weak, sometimes the strong. There is no word for bacteria here, no concept of invisible threats, only experience. This is early medieval England, and if you are truly here, there is one thing you must understand immediately. This world does not care if you survive. Before we talk about work, hunger, or death, something else comes first. Identity. Because your place in this world is decided before you ever take your first breath. You did not choose this life. It chose you. Early medieval England is not chaotic. It is ordered, rigid, layered. Power flows downward, labor flows upward, and almost everyone exists at the bottom. Roughly 8 or 9 people out of every 10 are peasants, and most of them are serfs. That is what you are. A serf is not a slave, but do not confuse that with freedom. You are legally bound to the land you work, not to a single person, but to an estate, fields, pastures, woods. You cannot leave without permission. You cannot sell your labor elsewhere. You cannot decide to start over. If you run, you are hunted and returned. Your name is written into manorial records. Your obligations are inherited. If your father was a serf, you are a serf. If you have children, they will be too. This is not temporary. There is no end date. There is no future version of yourself that escapes. From the outside, the system looks stable. The Lord owns the land. The church owns the soul. You work, and in return, you are protected. But protection here is conditional. You owe labor several days each week on the Lord's land. This is not optional. You owe rent, paid in grain, eggs, livestock, or labor. You owe seasonal taxes. You owe extra work during harvest, whether your body can manage it or not. Miss these obligations and punishment follows. There is no appeal court, no contract to renegotiate, no safety net to catch you. The system survives because you have no alternative. Now that you understand who you are allowed to be, another question becomes unavoidable. What does this life demand from your body every single day? Your work begins before the sun fully rises, not at a comfortable morning hour. At first light, when cold still bites and muscles are stiff from yesterday's labor. The agricultural year governs everything. Your calendar is not weeks or months. It is tasks. Spring means plowing, breaking soil that resists you, dragging wooden plows tipped with iron through earth that has not rested. Then comes sowing, then weeding, then harvest. Summer is relentless. Heat drains your strength. Sweat soaks your clothes. There is no shade long enough to matter. Autumn brings threshing, separating grain by hand, repeating motions until your shoulders burn and your back tightens. Winter does not stop work. It only changes it. Fences must be repaired, animals tended, firewood oiled, tools mended. Your body never fully rests. Injuries heal slowly, if they heal at all. Broken bones often set wrong. Infections spread. A small cut can become fatal. By their 30s, many men already walk like old people. We know this because their bones remain. Archaeologists examining early medieval skeletons find worn joints, compressed spines, healed fractures, and signs of chronic malnutrition. Bodies shaped by labor that began in childhood and never stopped. This is not heroic work. It is survival work. All of it has one purpose. Not wealth, not comfort. Just enough food to continue. But food here is a fragile promise. Your diet is painfully narrow. Bread is constant, coarse, dark, dense. Porridge fills the gaps, thin and bland. If your small garden produces enough, vegetables help. Beans, peas, onions, occasionally cabbage. Meat is rare, not because animals are scarce, but because permission is. Forests belong to the nobility. Hunting without approval is a serious crime. Even gathering fallen wood can bring punishment. If you are caught poaching, the penalty may be fines, mutilation, or worse. So meat is saved for feast days, if your lord allows it, or for moments of desperation that risk everything. You do not starve every day, but hunger is constant. Even in good years, the diet lacks protein and essential nutrients.
In bad years, it becomes deadly. One failed harvest can mean famine. Two in a row can empty villages. No details are needed. Everyone understands what that means. But even if you manage to eat, there is another daily gamble you cannot avoid. Water. Rivers serve many purposes: drinking, washing, dumping waste. Wells are shallow and easily contaminated. Animal waste, human waste, decay. It all seeps into the same sources. There is no understanding of bacteria. When sickness comes, it feels random. Dysentery spreads quickly. Typhoid lingers. Fevers burn through households. Dehydration kills children fast. Adults last longer, sometimes long enough to infect everyone else. There is no cure, only rest, prayer, and hope. And when the day finally ends and you return home, there is no true relief waiting, because your house carries its own dangers. Homes are built quickly, cheaply, and close together. Wattle and daub walls, wooden frames, thatch roofs. Fire is always nearby and always dangerous. There is no chimney. Smoke escapes where it can. Your lungs pay the price. Animals sleep inside during winter. Their warmth keeps you alive. Their waste fills the air. Fleas thrive. Lice are common. Rats move freely. Overcrowding spreads disease. Parasites weaken already exhausted bodies. Your home protects you from rain and wind. It does not protect you from illness. By now, you may wonder how long anyone can live like this. The answer depends on whether you survive childhood. You may hear a number like 30 or 35 years. It sounds shockingly low, but it hides the truth. Around 1/3 of children die before the age of 5. If you survive childhood, your chances improve. Some people live into their 40s or 50s, but death is never distant. An infection, a bad winter, an accident in the fields.
Life is fragile, and sometimes death comes from a source no one understands at all. Poison. In wet years, a fungus grows on rye. It looks harmless at first, dark growths replacing healthy grain. When ground into flour, it disappears. Bread looks normal, tastes normal. Then the sickness begins. Muscles seize, hands cramp. People scream in pain. Some convulse uncontrollably. Some hallucinate. Some feel an intense burning in their limbs, as if they are on fire from the inside. Villagers say God is punishing them. Priests preach repentance. But the cause is the bread they eat every day. Entire communities can be affected at once. In severe cases, blood flow to hands and feet stops. Flesh turns black. Fingers and toes fall away. Some survive, many do not. They never know why. Poison does not spare the wealthy. Those who can afford the refinement drink wine stored in lead-glazed vessels. They eat food prepared in lead-lined pots. Water flows through lead pipes. The poisoning is low. Headaches, confusion, mood changes. Over time, the brain and body fail. The materials meant to show status quietly destroy the people who can afford them. Poison alone would be enough, but here it rarely comes alone. Disease presses hardest on the youngest. Roughly 1 in 3 children dies before 5. Infections spread quickly. Malnutrition weakens small bodies. Waterborne illness strikes without warning. There are no antibiotics, no vaccines, no understanding of cause. Parents expect loss, not because they do not love their children, but because experience has taught them caution. Grief is constant, but rarely spoken. Fields still need work. Life continues. If you survive childhood, you might believe the worst is over. It is not, because survival now depends on forces you cannot control. Faith, law, power. Religion explains suffering. It promises meaning where none is visible. Illness is a test. Famine is a warning. Death is God's will. This belief comforts people, but it also controls them. If suffering is divinely ordained, questioning the system becomes sinful. Justice follows belief. Punishments are public. Stocks, branding, mutilation. The body becomes a warning. And when guilt is questioned, God decides. Trial by ordeal. Carry hot iron. Reach into boiling water. Be thrown into a river. If you heal, you are innocent. If you die, God has judged you. This is law. In theory, it applies to everyone. In reality, it does not. The wealthy pay fines. The poor endure pain. And above all of this hangs another threat. War. War is expected. When your Lord calls, you go. Not because you're trained, because refusal is a crime. You leave your fields, your family, your animals. You are not a soldier. You are a farmer holding a spear. Even if you survive, damage follows. Crops rot. Families struggle. Sometimes war comes from the sea. No warning. Villages burn. People are taken. When raiders leave, they take the future with them. Fields go unplanted. Hunger follows. Some villages never return. And if you are born a woman, survival narrows further. Obedience is taught as virtue, suffering as meaning. Your world is small, mostly indoors, mostly unseen. Marriage is arrangement. Childbirth is chance. Many endure until they don't. And still, the world does not collapse. Because people adapt. Living past 40 is victory. A child reaching adulthood feels miraculous. Hope is small here, but it is enough. So when you imagine early medieval England, do not picture romance. Picture ordinary people waking before the sun, working bodies already worn down, living in a world that offered no safety, and choosing every day not to vanish. That is early medieval England.